Good evening, boys and girls. Welcome to teamfortress.tv. My name is Getawhale. I'm joined in the casting booth once again this evening, second time in as many nights, by my good friend Marxist, and we are here with Dashner to bring you ESEA invite action. It is eLevate TF2 versus Froyotech. And we've got a hell of a match cooking here this evening, and we're pumped up about it. So, Marxist, right off the top here, I'm going to say to you, if you had to describe what we're going to see here this evening in 20 words or less, what are we going to see?
Well, I could do one word, but we're gonna see some metalworks,
It's a
and
terrible answer.
yeah, and in the past, I have seen Mabla sponsor type teams, which we're gonna see one tonight. Select metalworks as a map at LAN, so maybe they feel good about it.
Well, we'll see how they play it. And just a quick mention off the top, if you don't already know about it, we have another match going on already. It's on Team Fortress 2, and that one's featuring Eckstein and Keith, a.k.a. Buick, in his first cast ever. So if you don't catch that one live, check it out on YouTube after the fact. Hopefully it'll be up tomorrow, the VOD. Meanwhile, we're here, and we've got two of the best teams in the world, maybe even the universe. And yeah, they're playing Metalworks, and we were talking about this a little bit, Marxist, before the game started. Well, it's not started yet, but we're getting close. But not everyone likes Metalworks, so not everyone practices it that much. And it's maybe a little bit of a map to maybe catch Froyo off guard. Do you want to talk to that?
Yeah, if you feel good about this one, you never really know how it's going to turn out. Because unlike Badlands and the other slew of maps, pretty much the whole off-season, you're going to play those maps at least a few times, maybe every night, or at least every other night. But Metalworks doesn't fall into that rotation, so sometimes you can see some pretty surprising things come out on it. So we'll see what goes down. There's kind of a roughly standardized way to play this map, and we saw a lot of that last night from time to time, but teams did do different things and get aggressive in unusual times, so we'll see how it turns out here.
Yeah, I mean, I think Metalworks, more so than maybe any of the other maps that we play in ESEA, lends itself to almost every off-classing class. We see, the only other map I can think of is Badlands, where we're just equally able to see Sniper as heavy, as Engineer, as Spy. We saw a lot of Spy plays last night, and my boy Buick touched on this in his cast, that people are going Spy more and more often, and certainly we saw a few Spy plays yesterday evening. If you guys missed it, myself and Marx's cast Mad Men versus Ding Dong Daddy, and we're seeing soldiers switch it up a whole lot more as well. And that's a good kind of point to bring up with this eLevate squad, because there's no formal pocket or roaming position kind of dedicated. In other words, we're seeing their soldiers off class and do their own thing on this eLevate crew. We're not really seeing that as much on Froyo or any other teams.
Yeah, that's something that's been talked about and experimented with in TF2 for at least a while, but nobody has really taken it up. I know a few seasons ago, like season 10, 11, there was a really big discussion around the forums and other places of repute that you ought to have the roamer always off class, because otherwise your scouts can't sack. You have one scout to cap and one not scout. Whereas in this scenario, you've got a scout to sack on the point and draw everybody in and make your job much easier. Whereas the roamer, like roamers on big pushes like that, particularly for last, kind of what they do is ill-defined at best.
Ill-defined. That's one way to put it.
Yeah, and then on the other hand, as far as like the more or less double roaming, that's how things used to be done. If you're a TF2 grandpa, is it used to just be there were two soldiers. One was kind of a pocket that got more heals than the other, but they would just rotate around based on, who was alive, or maybe so-and-so was better at jumping around on this certain part of a map, so he would go roam on it, and things like that. So It's neat that they're trying that. There's also a little bit of a throwback where teams experimented with pocketing a demo pretty significantly because Badonsky is getting pretty good heals from what I've seen.
Yeah, he's getting out of control. Some people would call him the best demo right now in North America. Some, not all. Why don't we talk about the rosters, run down the rosters real quick before these guys get going, because everyone is in serve and we're just waiting on them. Do you want to talk about the boys over at Froyo?
Sure. So Froyo's pretty classic roster at this point. So if you don't know him, you might have been somewhere for a little while. But you've got, the Medic Shade, who's a legend at this point, followed by also quite legendary Clockwork on Scout. Banny, who is playing Scout this season, also pretty legendary in his own right. Blaze on Roamer, Lansky on Pocket, and then Big Duwatna coming up on Demo Man.
That's them. And as for the boys on eLevate, we have, well, starting with the Scouts, we have, of course, Shrugger, the soft-spoken young man from the southeast. His Scout partner, of course, is Decimate, the long-haired Scout duo. We have, as well, let's see, we have KBK, of course, playing Medic. That's one of the new moves on this eLevate roster. We've seen him already a bunch of times, the Crossbow Kid. We have Soldiers, Mela, and Alpha, of course, who we talked about. Alpha switching over, and he's loving the Soldier for what I can see, and he likes the off-class as well. I'm still remembering a 3K he had on Spy on the first week on Snakewater. And who am I missing? Of course, we have the Demo Man. His name is Cyrus. They call him the Virus. Badonsky. And that is the eLevate roster. So it should be quite exciting. Of course, over the past several seasons, we've seen a lot of slugfests between these two teams, and we've seen both teams pick up victories in these face-offs. If you guys have predictions in the chat, tell us all about it. In fact, there's a straw poll as well. Hopefully someone will post the straw poll. We're picking sides right now. I want to give a shout out to the Toucan that has arrived, of course. We all know that. But why don't you want to do this first mid, Marxist, once we get our green letters here?
Oh, sure. I should also mention, since you put me on blast here for the mic, that we've got mumble comms for both teams. Yeah. So hopefully you will be hearing them periodically. But I'm going to be watching Duwatna at the start, because I like to watch demos at the start. It makes me feel at home and comfortable. So he's coming out of the left here. Both demos come out same size. They shoot their nerf stickies at each other. Duwatna taking some damage. Big soldier bomb coming across. Going to have some soldier-on-soldier violence, and Decimate is going to take out Clockwork. Banny's going to go down as well. That is it.
Wow.
We're donezo for 4G. They are they going to get ace? They get ace.
Wow.
Getawhale.
Very, very humongous. That's a humongous mid. I watched Mela, and right off the bat, something to talk about is they're going to move real easily in here. Look at the spawn timers. We're going to get a really easy second. We're going to be looking last with a full Uber, but Mela came in behind. Of course, we always see the roamers going behind on this map, but Mela was lucky enough to catch almost all of 4G. Retreating. And anyway, we've got Uber meanwhile, and in comes Mela leading the way. He's going to come in behind and try to block off this door, and he's not going to let any of the 4G players out if at all possible. Talk about an easy first round.
Yeah, solid round for eLevate. I was a little nervous for them there because Froyo actually had a pretty neat defense where they backed up half the team and ran the other half forward, and it almost denied the point from eLevate. So that was pretty neat, but I'll let you cover this mid, Getawhale.
Neat. Hopefully Neat will win a mid because Froyotech just got bombarded and blitzkrieged and probably don't even know what just hit them. I'm looking at Mela on this mid, and hopefully we'll watch Mela because he was a big difference maker last minute. He's doing the double jump. Oh, he beeps his double jump. That's not going to help anyone. He does try to get in behind. He's not going to clean up the whole team. Meanwhile, on the right side, we've got all of Froyotech trying to push hard right. Lansky getting up above. Same as Duwatna as well. Decimate, though, when the Scouts really getting in the face and pushing Froyotech out of there. Trying to still, again, win this mid. A little bit of confrontation. It's down to 2v2. I don't know. Alpha trying to fight this off. They're going to come back in. Here comes Froyo. Big Duana not willing to give this up. And we get into a situation here now where both teams dying to get their respawns in. Alpha up on top, no mid-cap yet, and Duana just, I guess it's a battle of who can reload quicker, but of course Demo having a slight advantage there. They will be able to come out, but Alpha, he's reloaded now, he's going to come back out. This is a long mid, but let's see if Froyotech, yeah, they're going to bully it. They're going to bully it. It was an interesting middle there, and just, you know, when you screw up your soldier jump, you got to improvise, Marxist.
Yeah, sometimes things don't always go as planned. I liked their play there to stand on the cap. It at least made it take longer. But we're going to see Decimate go down on the flank to Manny, and that should pretty much call out the push. And that's also going to deny scout protection over the second, but that doesn't matter because Mabla going to get some nice little air shots and then die to Lansky, so that'll pull them 2 down, rather. They're going to pop Uber, maybe rotate around the right side, yeah. So we've got some deep operations going here.
Yeah, Badonsky trying to pinch them real hard right now, but Duana comes in and breaks that up. Badonsky was in great position to try to catch 4G if they did retreat, but now it's 6v3 and looking real dire for, oh boy, eLevate down to 2 players now, and it certainly looks like if they can pull this out here, Froyotech should be able to get this cap and tie it up 1-1. 2 very quick rounds. We are not having a repeat of last night, sir.
Yeah, at least so far.
So far, of course, we mentioned earlier we had a match last night between Mad Ben and Ding Dong Daddy that drew itself out, but we're talking about 2 of the top teams right now. Nothing against those other guys, but these are 2 very tough, very land-proven teams. I'm looking at Duana. It's just where my camera ended up right now, and I'm going to see what he can do, as he sort of was the difference maker at the end of the drawn-out last mid, just sending out spam right now both sides, and he was playing a little more passively now. In comes Melo with his huge jump in on Duana. He gets taken out right away. So now it's up to Froyotech. Clockwork in doing work. Lansky comes in and follows up a pick on Alpha. Both soldiers down for eLevate. 5v3 right now. The scouts on eLevate trying to do something, get an equalizer, but not going to work out, and we're left with just 2 on eLevate. Another mid win, and Clockwork's on the prowl. Clockwork wants blood. Clockwork runs into sticks, and Badonsky might finish him off here. Maybe not, though. Comes up on Badonsky, gets Badonsky, and Clockwork looking for the med now? Not stopping. I don't know what Clockwork is doing. It's he maybe missed his opportunity to go into last. What'd you see, Marxist?
Yeah, Duana was kind of in the sad zone because he was by himself, or Badonsky rather, was by himself as Demo, and the scout found him. So that's it. You're going to go visit the respawn timer. Big play, though, from Shrugger to kill Shade when that mid was already over. KBK has whole gigantic Uber advantage because of that. Alpha's going to go down in the pre-push. Mela coming out with the Pyro, a Pyro Uber. Doesn't matter, though. They pick up 2 frags already, one of which is Duwatna, so that's pretty big. They're going to cap this out to try and deny Duwatna his forward spawn, which they're going to do. We should see a pretty quick push because, as the old adage goes, no demo, no defense.
When we
maybe not.
Let's listen to the eLevate comms and see what the push sounds like.
They're about to push back in. As in, they're about to get Uber. Probably gonna push. Okay, I'm gonna stop building. Get buffed.
Don't bother.
Flank.
Scouts on right?
That's right.
They're pretty quiet. They're not putting on a good show in comms right now. Ubers are popped off and just, I don't know, very calm and collected, I guess, in the eLevate. Mumble, not a lot going on. We'll check in. We do have the Froyotech Mumble comms as well, and we can see what they're doing. Not right now, though, as we have a pause. And I'm guessing, postulating, that it may be on the side of Froyo, since we just heard the eLevate boys.
Yeah, and we've heard people coming in and out of Mumble, so, or at least the bot, so who knows. But yeah, pretty good little series there. They got Badonsky down. I expected eLevate to try and push up and do something, but I guess with a Pyro it's a little hard to do. But yeah, so then you ended up getting pushed on by 4G, reaction a little slow, you lose your demo, and now you lose your second.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, they very smartly identified that they had an Uber coming up, and they played it very smart. It's not very interesting to listen to. That's all. We want interesting comms. If you were here last night, you heard Showstopper's comms, and you heard me just praise him to the moon. I'm not a shill, I swear. Anyway, KBK, of course, has full Uber, getting back to the matter at hand.
Yep, we'll see. I don't think in this situation, unless a big player drops for 4G, so that'd be like Duwatna or Lansky or Shade, that we're going to see a big thing come out here. Because as far as like the Uber that I can see, KBK may try to hero out here and block, but I doubt it.
Yeah, I don't think that's the play. I completely, just given, you know, the wide open nature of this second point here, just so much can go wrong when you're coming out with an Uber into that area. You can probably attest to that.
Yeah, I mean, a hero Uber can work on this second pretty well. They're lined up, they're in the proper position to do it over by Shutter Door. You don't want to, for all you medics out there, you don't want a hero Uber out of the lobby window 930 room. That would be bad. Okay, here we go. So,
we're back
but
in.
the problem is like there's no demo. It's gonna be challenging. Oh, this was the maybe a courtesy restart.
Ancillary pause to allow a player in, or actually, well, no.
And this Uber's popped actually to.
Hoping we're not
KBK
having
has
server
deployed.
issues. Yeah, he has deployed. Underneath, which is interesting. We'll see how that plays out, as we just spoke about. I don't know about that play, so it is popped off down underneath, and coming up above, they're going to try to do something with the soldier on this Uber. They're up against nothing on the other side, but Froyotech able to just bully their way through and come on in. Blaze getting right up in the face there. So maybe not the best decision, although they're still going to fight it out. Badonsky's still in there and trying to spam up point, but just positionally speaking, I don't think they have any argument here to stay in there. Maybe they do. Lansky's still in there. Lansky comes in on Badonsky, takes him out. Lansky going to get back up above here now. I'm very surprised by both sides. A nice shot on Blaze, and Mela going down as well. Kind of a high five in the air. KBK going down. Scouts find it on the point, and it turned out with a full wipe for eLevate. So it looked good, then it didn't look so good. Then maybe they were going to pull it out, and it ends up with a full wipe for eLevate. Does it all go back to the decision to push out of that second, do you think, Marxist?
I think the way they did it, yeah, that would it hurt them because Badonsky showed up to that fight like in a pretty good time, and I would say, although not as fun as the illustrious double wipe at any given point, we did see two people air shot each other and then crater.
Yes, I did see that. That was Mela and I don't know who the other soldier was. I believe Blaze. But anyway, following this mid out, and I'm looking at Team eLevate. I'm watching Badonsky, who's doing his thing, waiting for Alpha. He jumps up above and gets height. Mela coming in as well. He's in behind, and he gets promptly taken out. We're down to 5v4. Alpha's standing on the point and just going to chip away. He's with KBK. Shrugger's there as well. We've got Banny's in behind as a scout. He's trying to do something. He's facing Decimate. He's trying to get an important pick, but he's the only one left up on his team now. And eLevate picking up a pretty decisive mid-win as well. Looked like a lot of great scout cleanup and focus fire by eLevate, Marxist.
Yeah, Melo's bomb was really good. He went way up into that skybox and then dropped down directly on top of, I think it was Clockwork, if my memory is correct. And he got bunches of kills.
Bunches, honey bunches of kills. We have the Highlander defense up now, the true Highlander defense. We have Heavy Engineer, we have Sniper, and Froyotech doing the thing, but here they come already, and Heavy's in behind. Look at the Heavy, they're going to try to focus him first. Blaze goes down right away. We've got Shrugger. They're trying to block that door here, but great presence by Froyotech, and they might be able to defend this. Mela's in, and Mela wants a pick. He gets taken down. Shrugger in there as well. Real great defense by Froyo, and Banny's trying to get in to take up Badonsky. They're going to back out, and what a fantastic defense by Froyo. They've only got 3 players up, but that's all they need. Very impressive.
Yep, and they're going to force out here. Yeah, Decimate goes down. Clockwork's going to, or Banny rather, is going to pull it on back.
Wow, they did not collapse at all. That was it was amazing. That was a great defense.
Yep, it was I think mainly like one thing that happens on Metalworks a lot is the map will bait you into pushing up too far. Yep. I think that kind of happened there. They went around that wall thing and then they ended up getting in a way bigger fight than anticipated.
Right, it's a smart play having the Heavy in behind, but we'll see how that plays out if they do it again. Future last points. Meanwhile, now they're trying to take this. They're looking for picks around this mid, but again, eLevate. Neither of these teams content to back out, and now we've got Uber v Uber. We do have up. I think I saw a pyro. That's Mela, of course. Teams getting separated. The medics are just looking at each other, not Ubering anything. Shade had to back way up, and has now lost all of the ground that he could have taken with that. Although they're going to get it right back, it looks like, as we have 5v3 here. It was an odd separation there of both medics on their Ubers.
Yeah, both. I think they kind of just saw each other, and you had an exchange, and then everybody that with the gun that's not a healing Ghostbuster gun just kind of decided to go do their own thing.
Yeah, yesterday evening, Marxist, we saw two teams, as we still have the pyro up, he gets taken out. We had two teams that were backing up a whole lot and retreating a whole lot, and so far it's been the absolute opposite on this Metalworks map between these two teams. And it seems like maybe, I don't know if they're slowing down a bit or not, if it's just going to be balls to the wall all night. But here comes, Lansky's in, a lot of aggression from both sides, you can't deny that.
Yeah, and Badonsky goes down here, so we might see the quick push into last. It looks like they're bringing the crew. It's coming in already.
Yeah, they're going to get their Uber, though, right in time.
There's still no Badonsky. It's still the best possible world. Actually, they're going to try and back it out to be a force. Really good play. And that's the kind of play that makes you a world champion, Getawhale. They just got in there, forced it, backed out. Now they get to have their Uber.
Very well played by Froyo. You can see why they're the universal champions of TF2, if you want to call them that. Froyotech grabs another round real quick. We've had 3-1. A little bit shell-shocked. Do we want to listen to one of these teams on the rollout here? What you?
Well,
tell
that's
us what team
halftime,
you want.
Getawhale.
Oh, it's halftime, right? 3-1. Of course.
Well,
Sorry,
I can forgive you because of last night. Because we didn't really have anything like that.
At half last night, it was 1-0. And we were both, like, falling... I don't want to say falling asleep, but we were... What were we doing? We were running out of things to say.
I felt mentally drained.
So it is halftime. Pardon me. I'm going to look at the stats here as well. What are our thoughts as I look at the stats and see if there's anything here that stands out to us? And you can all look at it at home as well. Nothing in terms of nothing crazy in terms of DPM. Duana on top. That's not a huge surprise.
The thing that I see is, assuming that this thing works right, is Shrugger has only 72 heals, and that makes my heart feel a little bad.
That's interesting. I'm wondering, is he just not getting healed on mids or what? But at any rate, are we back up here? Is this real? I was looking at stats like a fool. We're live. My goodness. Well, we don't have time to analyze. Marxist, we were so used to doing nothing all night last night. We're looking at a situation here right now where Alpha's down to 1 HP. He finally meets up. It's 5v2. My apologies there. Last night, if you were here, you know how slow going it was. We were fighting for things to say. Not so this evening. Moving right in is eLevate. They're coming in now in blue. They're going to have a real easy cap here of second. They are going against an Uber once they get to last, though, of course. Now maybe we'll listen to their comms. What do you think?
Probably be good.
They just called. Alright, good. Let's stabilize.
So, do you want to go back all the way to last Switch class?
No.
I'm crazy.
They're still spamming cards.
Scouts are right lobby. Then I was right lobby.
Don't get picked.
You're buffing. Oh,
They have
fuck.
control of right lobby.
Yeah, they're holding right lobby.
Can you sticky the door, or
Probably. I can check real quick.
he did?
Yeah, they did.
He did.
They're giving up.
We have it.
Okay, I took control of it.
Let's just get the suicide in.
They fell back to
I
last.
think I saw a sniper, I'm not sure.
Mail's
go
ready to
ahead.
go. They're building a gun.
I'm gonna go close right for a second. Actually, I'm just gonna go.
They have a sniper there.
Holy shit, that crap on
I'm
us.
dead.
Sentry as well.
Fall back. Come back.
They have a sniper, so
Just come back a lot.
Yeah, we're on second.
See that pipe on Mail?
Yeah, he got a good chuckle out of that,
Holy
too.
cow.
He saw the gun looking at him, so there wasn't anything he could do there anyways, but it's just a suicide. Although, they're pretty nervous about this Clockwork sniper, so...
I mean, who wouldn't be? I mean, we've seen what Clockwork can do on Sniper, and real nice. I'm very impressed by young Duwatna hitting the direct pipe on Mela. Maybe we'll see some more pipes do really fantastic demos in this one. Right now, Froyotech, geez, I almost would like to listen to Froyotech and see what they're thinking right here. We saw fantastic defense by them previously on last. Had that heavy and sort of drew eLevate in way too far. It kind of baited them and paid off perfectly. Podonsky is standing around, and finally now that gun forces the Uber, and they have that 7th player, as you would put it, Marxist. Froyotech just moving right up and just denying all this ground. Elevator just booking it out of there. I don't know what I think about that. That was not the force that they wanted right there. And now, real great, here comes Froyotech. They're going to come out and... But meanwhile, behind, we've got... That's Decimate who was in, trying to cap the last. And now Froyotech have to fall all the way back. So nice work by Decimate there.
The control point is being contested.
Yeah, that's one of those intangibles plays. Unfortunately, we've got a lot of eLevate people dead now. Pretty much the whole team. Strugger is actually running around behind, continuing to attempt to get last, but he's going to get piped out by Duwatna. So that was a kind of a big loss there for eLevate. It seems to me that the art of the Uber to kill the sentry gun has been lost for right now.
Yeah.
So they tried to get the gun like by spamming it, and they got forced, and then they just really couldn't do anything because it was just Podonsky in there.
Yeah, the position of it. I saw Podonsky walk out, and I don't think they were expecting it to get forced that soon. I don't know if they thought that the gun would see them there or not, but at any rate, here we are. Froyotech, geez, I just saw the drop-down used. I didn't see that at all last night. They're pushing underneath, and eLevate looks like they're ready for it, and they've got a lot of ground to cover here, but they're holding on to Uber, and that's something eLevate don't have, and real smart. Shade knows they don't have it. They're going to force the issue. Lansky right down the throat. And they really want to get picks here because otherwise the Uber's kind of for nothing, though they are going to fall back. Shade real smartly, though, is retreating as here comes the eLevate Uber.
Yeah, they tried to catch him out there. It didn't work. We'll see how this after Uber fight turns out. Podonsky's going to get Lansky and then be taken out by Duwatna, so demo on demo hate crimes. And then Mela's going to go out to just KBK, trying to do a little something before he dies. Fails to win the melee battle, but, you know, Duwatna was getting healed, so only so much you can do. That's a whippity wipe, and trying to camp forward spawn, but he gets a big surprise, Duwatna, and that's the entire eLevate team came out of that door, and there was only 1 or 2 stickies on it.
That's not how you camp spawn. Nothing against him, but not working at all. And that's something, again, that we haven't seen too much in Metalworks is camping those spawns. It doesn't happen too often that you can do that. Blaze is in with the jump. He's going to just flush this eLevate team out of here if he can. He knows his team has Uber and the other team does not. He has to bail out a little bit, though. Duwatna is getting back with his team. He's way behind. He's coming for mid. We're going to get this second camp. Let's listen to Froyotech. What do you think?
Sure.
I'm in shut around. I'm coming. I'm here.
Not down, not down. Soldier's also pretty hurt. Soldier 60.
Opposite 100, 150.
All that control point is being captured.
Well, that was pretty decisive.
Yeah, and that's going to take us to 4-1, so 4G doing it big.
Doing it big, yeah. Do you want to take us through a middle here, sir?
Oh, sure. I'll watch, let's watch Lansky. Pocket's almost getting never any love on mids.
Yeah.
And I do say, most of the time when people have questions, it's like, what does a Pocket do at mid? So, I guess we'll find out what a Lansky does at mid. So he's going to do a nice big jump, get some damage out on Soldier, a scout in his dome, and then he died. And we got Vanny and Clockwork still alive. To be honest, not so bad there. Vanny is now dead, and Clockwork got rocketed, so they are also whippity wiped here, and we're going to see KBK and Mobla push it on up to second.
To the east side.
No chance of multiple persons walking out of forward spawn and murdering their demo.
Doesn't work that way. Dunkin' Donuts right now, eLevate, Mela did a great job. He jumped in behind and he came out to try to catch some red players, and there were none. So it was certainly a nice mid for eLevate. Boy, I mean, they're just going to come right in here. No reason not to right now. They know there's no Uber on the other side. Just right now, Froyotech trying to set up as quickly as they can. I think that favors eLevate coming right in here. Don't wait, just head right in. Mela's going to flank around and maybe go around left or just wait for the fight to develop. Meanwhile, eLevate's in there. The Ubers are popped off, and they do have to focus this gun down. They lose a scout right off the bat. That was a nice headshot on Decimate, as a matter of fact. Shrugger's on it. Gets a lot of that point capped away, and it really easily could just be chipped away in here now. Well, I don't think it's going to be chipped away because it's only KBK left up, and now nobody. So Shrugger did his best, but nobody able to follow up on that last,
Control point is
Marxist.
being contested.
Yeah, and KVK wisely killed himself there. I mean, there's an infinitesimally small chance he may have survived there, but if he died now, his spawn would be even worse. And it looks like we have a spy coming up from not Alpha, but Mela.
Trying to be the hero. Why don't we listen to their comms?
The control point is being captured.
On our demo.
Scout's chasing all the way.
He's dead, he's dead.
They're holding lobby. Only Scout's capping. Soldier is weak.
One dead.
Nice. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go.
Medics.
Just go back
took
from mid, go
70.
back in for mid. Jump forward, jump
There.
forward.
Scout's
Well, we saw the spy play. Mela picked out Lansky. I don't know if it was the pick that he wanted. KBK with a big crossbow on Blaze, meanwhile. My apologies. Lots of picks going down, as a matter of fact. I think that's the first KBK crossbow kill I've seen so far this season. He's well known for it, of course, the crossbow kid. What do you think of the spy decision there, just given where this match stands, Marxist?
Well, it was a pretty neat little play they did where they ran a scout into them there, which is usually like, you don't do that on purpose, because that scout is dead for sure. And that drew all their attention because everybody wanted to get a free and easy kill. And then Lansky got backstabbed.
Gotta pad those stats, right? Duana now working kind of on his own a little bit while the rest of his team does the other thing, wrapping around the left side, and they're gonna try to pinch someone. It's not gonna work though. Although maybe we got a soldier who's gonna surprise Duana. He gets taken out. Meanwhile, the rest of his team, we had Ubers popped off. I was watching the demo. We're seeing a lot of these demos do their own thing and kind of fly solo in this match. But right now, it looks like the Uber's fairly close. I don't think say any team got a crazy fantastic Uber, although Shade just lost the 1v1 against Alpha.
Yeah, those critical medic DM fights. KBK gets another kill, but he goes down.
KBK racking up some frags, and the only player left up now, eLevate, is Mela.
Our control
It's nice. I like seeing those meds get those frags. We were looking for it last night because Indus had 6 frags, as I mentioned. But at any rate, Lansky right now, a nice shot at double. He gets the double on Mela. That's a huge double air shot. Hopefully we got it on cam. We had to switch over to crits as well.
Oh,
The gentleman in red.
the
Dante
the
Shade
Crits
Funari.
Krieg.
Yeah, so that's the first that we've seen this, certainly this week in ESEA on the cast that we've done on this channel.
Yeah, it's odd because people went to crits a lot in the early seasons of Metalworks because they're sort of an old dog's trick where on new maps you run crits because people don't know where to stand yet. But it's not really the case anymore. But you're going to see what I like to call the disadvantage crits. So what you're hoping if you're Shade is that you're going to get this crits when they're trying to group up on the point. But actually, Lansky and Clockwork just do so much work, you don't even have to worry about it.
So they have it works kind of to their disadvantage now because they don't need to use it, and meanwhile, while they're waiting for a good opportunity, eLevate going to go ahead and get their Uber. But now they're still down to 3, and they're thinking about just coming in here. I don't disagree with this. They're going to pop. And wow, nice work there by eLevate. KBK popping out that Uber and backpedaling time.
Yeah, it's almost knee-jerk reaction. Once you play Medic enough, when you hear that Crit Krieg sound, you're just gonna pop if it's anywhere close to you.
So now they're thinking about kind of just the dry push. Shade is separated. He's not healing anyone at all. Decimate's in his face. His scouts group up with him, which is very lucky. He's still going to try to fight it out here, but Froyotech getting a lot of the worst of this, and now they're kind of stuck. They're going to get pinched real easy here. They're going to come onto the point and just kind of suicide and see if they can make something happen, but nothing happens, and eLevate are on a little bit of a run now, and they're going to come right out to mid and take that for free.
Yeah, that I don't understand that play from Lansky and Shade. I think maybe I think they thought they were dead anyways, and then Mabla just kind of added insult to injury with the pyro.
Need those fire kills. Pyro, of course, the strongest class in Team Fortress 2, as we know. Some call it God's class. Mela's still on Pyro. Some people might be scratching their heads about that, but let's see what he does. He's in behind the combo right now. He's taking the Uber in. He's reflecting soldiers away, maybe not causing a huge amount of damage. Maybe a questionable decision there, and so the Uber's used up, and now 40% is where Shade stands with his. Mela just burning dudes, though. He gets a reflect kill there, actually, on Lansky, so that was impressive. Well, it's one thing you can do as Pyro. Sometimes it works.
Depress mouse to ruin evening for a soldier.
Hotkey.
It's actually kind of a... Oh, as the scout comes running straight down, but he gets blown off course. That was Clockwork.
Well, Mela is heating up, as the saying goes, and now Duana going down as well with a scout right in his face. Lansky trying to do the best he can. He's the only one left up on Froyo, and this looks categorical right now as eLevate going to pick a nice reflect there. Mela rubbing it in at the very end, and we have a team named eLevate still in this one, Marxist.
Yep, it's 4-2. I have seen stranger things than a comeback.
Let's get the comms of eLevate
4-1.
on. Let's get the comms of eLevate on mid. Sorry to interrupt. Let's hear what's going through their head. They need this.
Come on, man.
Let's just like wipe them for the 90th time.
Let's fucking go. There's left side.
Ow.
Sword, top right.
Jump. I can't
We have good
jump.
heals. Good heals.
Jump. Oh my god, I'm getting raped. Blaze is destroyed. Clock's
down.
behind us.
Let's
lower.
Clock's 20.
Scouts.
He's 20.
Get up, get up. They're gonna keep chasing.
Hey.
They're chasing. They're all chasing. All of them.
I'm out.
Let's wipe them for the 90th time.
And,
It's not what happened.
yeah,
What'd you say
good
happened there,
strategy,
Marxist?
though. I mean, I would go with that strategy
Oh,
as well.
of course. That's just how they drew it up in practice. Well, unfortunately, it works quite in reverse. Middle is not capped, though, yet. So that's a thing.
Well, to be fair, to get the medic like that, this is a pretty common play. The first team that you really saw doing a lot of it was actually Mix-Up, which is ironic that their arch nemesis 4G is now adopted a similar practice.
Yeah, very interesting, as we now have 3 off-classers on the side of eLevate, including a spy. The spy this time is Alpha, who did such fantastic work on Snake Water. And he's just waiting. I don't know about this positioning right here, but I'm not going to question. I'm not an invite player, despite the shirt. He's in behind the combo right now. Alpha's coming in on the combo. Alpha wants him. Oh, that might have been the chance right there. Does he get it? Oh, he whiffs the first time. Oh, and he's spotted out. Unfortunate there. Maybe a little stutter step by Alpha, costing them that pick. And now, I don't know. They're one player down, and we said it is a soldier. Alpha, of course, playing soldier, and that's a lot of explosions they're going to be missing on this last as Froyotech moves in. And they got forced, looks like, or possibly an early pop. I'm not sure. They need that gun down. They get that promptly. They're going to just try to barrel in here if possible because they know that eLevate's going to be close on Uber. They're at 85% right now. Lansky's still in there. Demo doing some work as well. The Scout Shrugger is trying to just block the point if they can. Froyo just getting ready for the second little repush here. Ooh, but Shrugger right up in the face of the Demo. Shrugger doing a lot of work, actually. He does go down, though. And now Froyo, they've only... Oh, boy. A lot of guys had to go into resupply, and the ones that weren't were dead for eLevate. Froyo's on the point.
And
They
that
did it.
will be it. Yeah, what happened there at the end was Alpha went out for his spy play, and that whole time Shrugger had been setting up a level 3 7th player, and I don't think they thought that was a possibility at all on Froyo. So they were just going to take the victory lap and run through the tape there at the end. And then there was a level 3 7th player that kind of made him have to back up for a little bit and reconsider what they were doing.
Yeah, absolutely. A really strong second half. I'm really struck by how strong Froyo were in the second half. It was a little more even in the first half, but they sort of pulled ahead in general. Clockwork coming out with 37 big frags. He was just unconscious this evening. 1.3 KAD, whatever ESEA calls it. FPM, frags per minute. Yeah, so that's impressive performance by him. Definitely worth mentioning. 2 frags by KBK, as we mentioned. But certainly, we can't say anything negative, I don't think, against eLevate in that. I don't think that they really dropped the ball in any huge way. There were some scrappy fights. What do you think was the tale of the tape? What was the story in the end?
Some of the last pushes were a little weird. And it wasn't anything major that was like a consistent nagging issue for eLevate. They had more attempts at doing cool things turn into complete horrible disasters.
Yeah, yeah. They had some good defenses as well. Froyo did as well. We're gonna try to get some of those guys in here to chat to us. I think no, we're not gonna get interviews. Maybe not. Well, if you want to do interviews yourselves, you can just add them on Steam, of course, and say, "Hey, tell me about the match." But I don't think that we have too much else to say. Marxist. It was an entertaining one. It was certainly a fast match and aggressive. And Froyotech, they remain undefeated. And eLevate suffering their second loss of the season. So they'll be wanting to come back from that when they play next. I think that's it. Any parting shout-outs? You want to shout out the Toucan, Marxist?
I'm okay with shouting out the Toucan.
There it is. Marxist shouting out the Toucan. So guys, thank you for joining us this evening here on Team Fortress TV. And if you joined us over on Team Fortress TV 2, remember, guys, if you don't follow on YouTube already, you can catch all the VODs on YouTube. And if you're watching a VOD, go check us out on Twitch as well. Team Fortress TV is the website. My name's Getawhale. His name has been Marxist. And Dashner has done our production. The Toucan helped with production. We'll see you guys next time. Have a good night.